It is that time again. We have reviewed all of the Legacy Wave 1 figures. It is time to rank them from worst to best. This was an absolutely amazing wave of Transformers. I absolutely loved Legacy Wave 1, and from the looks of it, Legacy does not seem to be slowing down even a little bit. Did you people see that freaking Armada Starscream? Holy shit! I love this line so much. But without further ado, Legacy Wave 1 ranking. Let's not waste any time. Let's jump right into it. Here is my ranking. Do keep in mind, once again, this is only my ranking. If you don't agree with this ranking, if some of your favorites are towards the bottom of the list for whatever reason, that's fine. Go make your own video. This one is just mine. We can absolutely have conversations in the comment section. There's really only one figure in this entire wave that I did not love, so yeah, let's just jump into it. Here is the ranking for Legacy Wave 1. Coming in at the number 10 spot, because yes, I am including Blaster and Hot Rod on this list, as I did get them in the Legacy line, so for me, they are Legacy figures. Number 10, though, is Skywarp. I'm sure this isn't a surprise to anybody. Now, in all fairness, the Starscream mold is fantastic. I actually really love Core Class Starscream. I'd say it's easily one of my favorite of the G1 Core Class figures. I just think it's a really brilliant figure. I love the transformation. The tolerances are fantastic on that. But unfortunately, Skywarp just loses it. He doesn't have I know he does technically have the same amount of paint as the Core Class Starscream, but for some reason, he just doesn't look anywhere near as cool as the Core Class Starscream. And the absolutely baffling decision to not include his null rays. I can't wrap my head around it. I just can't. I really do like the combined sword, but I don't think it was worth sacrificing the null rays on Skywarp. Yeah, he is easily my least favorite figure of the wave, and I really don't think that's going to be an unpopular opinion at all. I just don't really like him at all. I think Starscream is better in every way. I think Starscream has better tolerances, better plastic feel, and he's just easily the skip of the wave. So yeah, if you have no interest in building the combined sword, which is admittedly a very cool weapon, then yeah, just skip him entirely. But that is number 10, Skywarp. Now, moving forward, I would like to point out that I really do like all of the rest of these figures, so don't get mad at me because number 9 is going to be a bit of an unpopular one, and that is Iguanas. I know a lot of people absolutely love this guy. Me personally, I think he's a very, I think he's a very solid core class, but I think all the core classes are very solid, and in my opinion, Iguanas is the number 9 for me. I don't know, I do really enjoy this guy. I think he's a lot of fun, but I think his transformation leaves a lot to be desired, and I don't really like his alt mode either, but his robot mode is absolutely amazing. I really do love the articulation in it. I love the jetpack on the back. That's super cool. His weapon is also complete trash, so yeah. I know this is definitely going to be an unpopular one. I'm sure a lot of people have this guy a lot closer to the top of the list for them, but me personally, number 9 is going to be his spot for me because I just don't enjoy him as much as quite a few other core classes. I think he's solid, and originally I was planning on selling him off, so I've definitely come around on this guy a lot because now I do genuinely like this figure. When I first got him, I actually didn't like him at all, and I was thinking about selling him off. But yeah, I definitely have come around to him. He is a fun figure. I am gonna hold on to him because I do think he is quite fun. And there are more pretenders apparently coming in Legacy as well, which I will definitely be very excited to see how they turn out. But yeah, also his legs getting a little loose on this one as well. I fixed the tolerances on mine by putting some super glue on the ball joints, but it looks like they have worn out now because now the legs are back to being floppy. Oh well, is what it is. But there you have number 9. And coming in at the number 8 spot for me is going to be Hot Rod. I really like Hot Rod. I think Hot Rod's a really solid core class. He's the only core class of this wave that I say 100% go out there and get. I think he is a lot of fun. He's very solid. I really like. He has easily the best weapon of all 3 of the core classes from this wave. And yeah, he's just a lot of fun. He's got good articulation, great tolerances. The only thing is just the a bit of loose and floppiness at the legs here, but everything else is absolutely fantastic. The tolerances at the arms feel amazing. He, like I said, has the best weapon of all of them, and when you combine them into the full sword, I definitely think Hot Rod and Iguanas are definitely going to be the ones you're going to be displaying with the sword, and I just think he's really cool, man. I don't have a ton more to say about him than I do in the review. I just think he is a lot of fun, man. I really do like this guy. I know a lot of people absolutely hate this figure, and I really don't understand where they're coming from. I think the transformation's a blast. I think the alt mode is even better than the robot mode, and I think he's great, and people complaining about the hollowness in the head, why? Who gives a fuck? You're not going to be looking at the back of his head. Like, well, Transformer fans can really be like major hypocrites sometimes, and sometimes it does get a little annoying, but I think Hot Rod is great, and that is going to be the number 8 spot on this list. So there we go. All 3 of the core classes were, I guess, where this wave kind of slipped a little bit, I suppose, but I still think they're all, well, except for Skywarp, I still think Hot Rod and Iguanas are pretty solid overall, but from here on out, all the rest of these figures are pretty much absolute home runs in my opinion. So let's get into it with number 7. And I think pretty easily the next spot is going to be Prime RC. Now, I think Prime RC is quite amazing. I know a lot of people seem to hate this figure, and it doesn't seem like it's turned around. I think a lot of people are really not feeling this figure, but I personally really like her, and I have only liked her more as I've had her. I think she's a lot of fun. I think her transformation is an absolute blast. I think her alt mode is like even better than the robot mode. I honestly think the alt mode might be the best part of this figure, and I think her robot mode's a lot of fun. It's good, it's got good tolerances, and it's very nice. It's very solid and fun to play with. The arm blades are awesome. I love that you either have the option of having the arm blades or the shield, and I love this weapon as well that you can pull off of the back, because you can just leave it there if you want to and it's not parts forming, or you can pull it off and you can have fun with it. It could be a drone, it could be like a double cutter. I think it's pretty cool. I mean, I feel like it would have sucked if you didn't have other great weapons, but you do, because the arm blades are really cool. So it's just a little bonus thing that I really like about this figure. I certainly wish she was more primey. That is definitely the case, and I really wish that we had gone full on with Prime, since we are going full on with Armada and G2 and what's the other one? Cybertron. So yeah, since we're going so faithful with all of those characters, with all of those lines, I don't understand why they decided to change it up for the most beloved Transformers cartoon of all time, but they did, I suppose. I am looking into picking up the APC toys now, since these did kind of disappoint me a little bit. I'm looking into picking up those APC toys, so hopefully I can finally get my Prime collection that I very much want to have in my possession. But we will have to see. But I still think Prime RC is well worth having, honestly. I still think she's well worth the deluxe price point. I think she's a lot of fun overall, and I really do think if you think she's bad, I think when you get her in hand, I think you'll like her a lot more. I mean, Mark from the Hasbro designing team even kind of said the same thing himself. She looks kind of bad, but once you get her in hand, she's a lot of fun, and I personally agree with that tenfold. I think she's a lot of fun. I would still give this figure about like an 8 or a 9 out of 10. I really do think she's a lot of fun, and I found myself constantly reaching for her to mess around with her, so yeah, I think she's really good. So there you have it. That is number 7, Prime RC. And number 6 is going to be Drag Strip. Now, I think Drag Strip does kick off the Stunticons pretty well, but unfortunately, compared to the rest of the figures on this list, while I do think this guy is absolutely fantastic, compared to the rest of the figures we still have left to rank, I think he's pretty easily the weakest of the bunch. I don't know. I just think his tolerances are a little bit looser than I would like, and they're definitely the weakest of the ones remaining. I also still really don't like the fact that his spoiler doesn't sit properly in alt mode. That is one thing I don't really come about him, and I do admittedly not really like how wobbly the top is to allow for the combining gimmick. Now, overall, I do still think Drag Strip is an absolutely amazing figure, and especially if you are collecting the Stunticons, obviously he is an absolute must-have. But I really do think he's a lot of fun for someone who really is probably just going to go on Metasaur's arm as soon as I get him and then never come off ever again. I really do think Hasbro put a lot of love into this guy. Super fun transformation, amazing alt mode. Honestly, the alt mode on this guy is absolutely phenomenal. The weapons are great. I love the scoped pistols. I think they're a lot of fun. The paint works great, assuming you don't get a QC where your visor doesn't get painted like mine. Oh well, whatever. Like I said, it's just going to be an arm for Metasaur anyway, so I'm not that broken up about it. I do think this guy is absolutely fantastic, but I do think that of the remaining figures left to rank, I definitely think he has the most tiny little issues that kind of add up to being enough to make me put him at the bottom of the list. But still, amazing figure. I still think he's an absolute 100% must pick up, and definitely one of the hits of the wave. But there you have it. That is number 6, Drag Strip. Coming in at the number 5 spot is going to be Skids. I think Skids is fucking awesome, dude. From here on out, I think the rest of these figures are absolutely 100% must-haves. I think they are just absolutely phenomenal. Some of the best figures of not only Legacy, of the War for Cybertron as well. I think Skids is just absolutely awesome. From beginning to end, robot mode, transformation, alt mode, all absolutely flawless. Just amazing. Accessories absolutely knocking it out of the park. I love the double jointed, the double barrel blaster. I love using blast effects with it. This gun is great as well. I love that there's basically no issues with this figure whatsoever. I guess the panel on the back of his head could be considered an issue to some people, but I don't really even notice it half the time. I just think this guy is an absolute blast. Just overall, everything about him is just so much fun to play with. He looks fantastic. Is a character we've always needed a figure of, a good figure of, and I think they've absolutely delivered. I absolutely love this guy. From the second I got him out of packaging, he easily is one of my favorite figures of the wave. I think he's awesome. I really don't have any negativity to say about him whatsoever. The paint on the back of his head really isn't really even an issue for me. So overall, I think he is just an absolutely knockout win. And I mean, he's amazing, but he's kind of boring now that I'm looking at, now that I'm kind of making this, he's kind of boring. I just don't know what else to say about him other than he's just like the best Skids ever made. So yeah, just an absolutely phenomenal figure, man. This guy is an S+ 100%. I just love this guy, man. So that is number 5, Skids. Coming in at the number 4 spot is going to be Blaster. Now, to be honest, I think this guy's pretty much flawless, aside from the transformation. As I said in my review, I don't love this guy's transformation. I just think the fists really collide. Not so much on this side, but on this side with the finger sticking out, it's just really not fun to fold that leg up and get it all enclosed in there. But aside from that, this guy's pretty much perfect. Roll-up mode absolutely slams it out of the park. I just think it looks absolutely phenomenal. The accessories are incredible. The gun is amazing, and so is Eject. Eject is actually surprisingly fantastic. Yeah, this is like a Kingdom Cyclonus level figure, man. Aside from the transformation just having a little bit of fiddliness in it, overall, he is just an absolutely 100% knockout win for the line, man. He feels amazing. The plastic feels absolutely phenomenal. The tolerances are amazing. Yeah, man, Blaster really does slam it out of the park, man. I don't love him quite as much as the other figures left to rank, which is why he is at the rank he is, but I don't think there's really any getting around it. He is literally like the perfect Blaster. And if they can give us a sound wave that is the same level as this Blaster, I think we will finally have our micro masterpiece sound wave as well, which is super cool. I also love flipping in these little pieces right here. That is just so fun. But yeah, this guy rules, man. Really cannot say it enough. He is just easily the best Blaster we have ever gotten. I just love him, man. Coming in at the number 3 spot on this list is going to be Kickback, my favorite deluxe of the wave. I just think this guy is absolutely brilliant, man. I can't even think of a single negative thing to say about him. Some people would say the alt mode, but I think the alt mode is fucking awesome. I really don't know what else to say about it. This guy is admittedly a very boring and unremarkable looking figure, but I just have an absolute blast with him. I can't put into words. I just think he is so much fun. The accessories crush it. The transformation's fun and super easy. Alt mode is super fun to play with. It's huge also, and he's amazing. His tolerances are phenomenal. His articulation absolutely rules. He has wrist swivel, sword drilling wrist, double jointed elbows, ankle pivot, man. Head sculpt is amazing. I just absolutely adore Legacy Kickback. He is my favorite deluxe of the line so far, and he is going to be tough to beat, man. I love this guy, man. Kickback number 3. Coming in at the number 2 spot, man, Bulkhead is just so much fun, man. I just absolutely freaking love Bulkhead, dude. He is just so goddamn fun to play with. I don't even know what else to say about him. Prime, he's obviously not all that primey, which is definitely a knock in my opinion, because Prime is just absolutely amazing, and I love Prime to death. And he is very stylized as opposed to the Prime design, but he's just so much fun. I cannot even begin to hate this figure. He is just so much goddamn fun. Awesome transformation, amazing alt mode, amazing weapon storage, man. He's just the whole package. You have so much stuff to play with. The Wrecking Ball arm is awesome. You can plug blast effects into it. You have the little Gatling gun that you can do whatever you want with it. You have the shield, which you can combine with the other weapons. You can give him a big ass shield right here, then have the gun peeking through the little window. There's just an endless amount of fun to have with this guy. You can pull the shield off and put it on his arm, and it can be deployed out, or you can wrap it around his arm. It's just an awesome figure, man. If you see this guy on clearance because of how much he's shelf warming, you would be an absolute dumbass to not pick this guy up, man. He is so cool. I absolutely love Bulkhead. Still easily my second favorite figure of the entire freaking wave, man. I just love this guy. But number 1 for me is so easily Laser Optimus Prime. I know not everybody absolutely loves this figure, but I do. I don't even know what I got nothing. I do. I love this figure. I think he's fucking amazing. I love the roller mode. I think it's a ton of fun to play with. Articulation's fantastic. accessories are super cool. The only thing I wish is he just had better weapon storage, because he really doesn't have very good weapon storage. But aside from that, he is just absolutely awesome. I love these little missile pods in the shoulders right there. The transformation is an absolute freaking blast, and the all mode might actually be my favorite Transformers all mode of all time. It looks so sick, and it's so fun to flip back and forth between these figures, and between the modes, and he feels amazing. His plastic quality feels even better than Earthrise and Siege Optimus Prime, man. I just absolutely adore this figure. This figure has honestly probably entered my top 10 favorite Transformer figures of all time. I think he is fucking awesome, and if you have not already picked him up, it would be absolutely criminal to not at least get this mold in your collection. Even if you do love the original one and you don't love this one very much, I still recommend to get at least some version of this mold in your collection, because the transformation is an absolute blast, and the figure is just so much fun. I absolutely love this guy, and from the very beginning, he has been my favorite. Ever since I got him, he was my favorite figure of the line so far. We'll see if that remains throughout Legacy Wave 2 and 3, if he will continue to be my favorite figure of the line, but right now, he absolutely is. I just absolutely adore Laser Optimus Prime, man. But yeah, there you have it. That is number 1, and that is going to do it for the Legacy Wave 1 ranking. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Do you agree with my list, or do you not agree with my list? What do you agree with? What do you not agree with? Absolutely leave everything in the comment section down below. We can have an absolute blast just talking about it, talking about what figures we love, what figures we what figures you thought that I gave a little bit too much credit to. Obviously, all matters of opinions that we can absolutely talk about in the comment section. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, if you did, maybe give me a like, subscribe for some more Transformer videos in the future. And with that being said, this is the Guillotine, signing out.